best non-Undertaker hand possible.
Yeah, the absolute anti-consecration hand at the moment.
Oh,
Glaive Zuka. Oh no, is this the hyper-aggressive hunter deck?
Well, Glaive Zuka, what that says to me is that it's more of a card that is good against aggro, like the Explosive Trap, like the Unleash the Hounds. Because normally that 2 attack and buffing your minion by 1 attack isn't that great against bigger threats. But it is good for taking control of the board early on.
But now the shielded mini bot, I mean, if it's allowed to pop the 2 spiders, is going to give consecration value to Savjz in a way. Big Game Hunter is getting thrown down there as a body to stop the aggression coming from the Hunter, and Savjz just goes face, knowing that the Hunter might be forced to trade because of the fact that the aggression is also pretty strong on the Paladin side. 6 damage return versus your 2 damage return. He's probably satisfied with taking that deal.
Yeah, Glaive Zuka is will come into use right now. It deals very well with the BGH.
Yeah, you can actually kill the entire board here if you decide to pop a spider, but how good do you feel about that, really?
Okay, no spiders will be popped today.
Ooh.
An owl.
That's got to feel good. That's got to feel good for Savjz.
Savjz might be starting to stabilize soon. He's considering throwing out the Wild Pyro here just to have a bigger threat that his opponent needs to deal with.
Do you feel like for the long-term play this is generally a winning play? I feel like you will need this guy at some point, but... Alright, Savjz dropping down the Wild Pyromancer, forcing his opponent to deal with it. You cannot leave a Wild Pyromancer live as a hunter. If you count on your little 1 health minions to win you the game, you can't let that live. There's no way.
Savjz also doesn't have any activators for the Wild Pyro, and I believe he only runs Equalities and Consecrates. He doesn't really have any other cards in his deck that can activate it. I mean, there's the Wild Pyro Muster for Battle synergy, right?
Yeah, the synergy of Muster for Battle is just absolutely amazing here. I mean, as you might imagine. So, Savjz is putting down the Wild Pyromancer probably to force the Glaive Zuka to go for it. But if Leok comes out of this Animal Companion, this is going to be a pretty nice board clear. It's Huffer, okay.
That's actually not very good because
no, it's not.
There's no way to clear this shielded mini bot. Like I assume you're gonna clear the Owl and you're gonna clear the Wild Pyromancer, but you have to leave that shielded mini bot on the field so it can just trade.
Well, you have a dagger. Yeah, I mean you have a weapon, so you can use Web Spinner on the Owl, Huffer on the 3/2, Weapon on the 2/2, and then be left with a 1/2 Spider and a Leper Gnome.
Okay.
But it doesn't necessarily entail that. Oh wow, he's weak to Consecration. This is an absolutely all-in Consecration play. The low-step follow-up might be able to let him, keep the aggression going.
Shielded minibot, not what he wanted. He needs a Consecration in the next 1 or 2 turns, I'd say.
Yeah, this is one of the turns where Kolento really made a nice call, where he said, if you don't have Consecration, I'm going to be able to establish some kind of threat. If you do, though, that's another issue. And he made the right call. Just saying, if you have 2 Super Champion, it's no problem. But if you do have Consecration, then, good on you. And seeing the Wild Pyromancer might indicate that there is no Consecration.
Thinking about trading. But no, he says, I'm a hunter player. I'm going to go to face.
Yeah, I guess he's not worried about Savjz just dropping down a Quartermaster, but
I guess he is now.
You have to be careful, because, I mean, a 3/3 will take out about 2 of your minions very, very quickly. So that lay on hands might pay off. That after all, playing 2 of them, secures that you're going to get 1 more often than not, and it's a big deal here.
Yeah, but before he can lay on hands, he'll have to deal with the Dr. Boom that's coming up, which is a really huge threat.
Maybe he'll find the Owl or Peacekeeper on time. At the moment, Kolento just backing up a massive amount of damage every turn. So Savjz is down to 10 health right now, and he doesn't know what the trap is. He has absolutely no idea. He has to play around freezing, so he might just consider throwing his 2/2 somewhere, but...
I think the only trap you're really scared of is the Snake Trap, which Kolento doesn't have right now. I think this is fine. Explosive is pretty much the best that Savjz could have hoped for. Now, Savjz is going to go into this Lotheb, hopefully
and
something
hope for
like
Senjin.
Senjin, or maybe even a Mogish and Warden. Oh, Blast Mage, not
Mogashan Warden. I never thought I'd hear those words.
Yeah.
But yes, you're right. That would have actually been quite useful. But no, looking at this though, Dr. Boom not really as big a threat as I initially thought it might be.
Yeah, Savjz can somewhat deal with it on the board right now.
Yeah, and he's gonna draw cards off of the mini bot, of the boom bot. That is. I mean, he can heal for 8 damage, and then. Yeah, it's a pretty nice. I mean, it's not the best position, admittedly, but it's not the most horrible one either. I've seen much worse scenarios. And he can kill the Dr. Boom and draw infinite cards.
The question here is, how big of a risk do you want to take? Like, when do you trade into the boom bot with your Acolyte, basically?
I think after you've killed Dr. Boom.
Like, you don't want to risk the Blast Mage dying at all? There's like a...
No, I attack the Blast Mage into Dr. Boom right now, and I just let it die.
Okay,
right?
Savjz is going to take a slightly bigger risk. It's like basically a 1 in 12 that the Blast Mage dies.
Blast Mage dies, yeah.
Yeah. So
wow.
Wow. He took a 1 in 12, basically. Or 11 out of 12 for something bad to happen. Or something not
mitigating
bad
some of the damage that he would have taken to the face in general, basically.
So Savjz is just considering whether he can die next turn, if he can develop the board any further.
So that means he doesn't plan on Leon Hansing, is what this means.
Yep, I think that's fine.
1, 2, 3. There's 3 damage on board. The hunter needs to find 6 from hand. Not the most likely outcome.
Yeah, he basically needs a kill command plus some other card. Kill command
he needs like
plus,
arcane shot and some shenanigan like this, which is going to get
more likely something like Unleash the Hound's kill command would have been lethal, or any beast plus
a very specific combination of 2 cards would have had to be drawn here. This is going to help a lot.
Anti-Keel bot, exactly what Savjz needed. The question is right now, does he play the Anti-Keel bot or the Leon Hands? Both
I feel
represent
like Leon Hands and
health.
Muster for battle is pretty sweet because it lets you mitigate some of the... Well, then again, Unleash the Hounds would become a problem, assuming you do go for the Muster.
You mean Antique plus Muster?
Mm-hmm. The combination of both, but he probably wants to check for traps first. Thing is, how much damage do you take as a follow-up if you check for traps? Equality Muster, not exactly shining play because you don't heal at all.
Savjz is asking himself, which one of these minions do I want to get bounced back in my hand? Is it the Aldor or is it the Harrison? You know, funnily enough, like the Blast Mage, if you bounce that back to your hand...
With the heal bot?
Yeah, it has synergy with the heal bot.
Oh, that would be lovely. Oh, Succubus. Oh, that is one of the best possible outcomes here for... I think it's just below Millhouse.
Well, in this scenario, it's exactly the same as Millhouse.
Yep.
Alright, this is very good. Heal bot plus Muster.
Alright, Unleash the Hounds is probably what Kolento's hoping for at this point.
Oh,
and he finds it!
That top deck.
Oh, wow. If that had been in his hand last turn, that would have been a bit more problematic, but right now the 8 health and Leon Hands coming up might ensure that Savjz can actually, just stay in the game without too many problems. And anytime he finds a Consecration off the top, he'll be fine. I like to see Savjz's face right now, but I'm stuck with a picture of him.
No, that's his face right now.
Okay.
That's what he looks like.
That's how he is. He just never expresses anything. I see how it is. So do you pop the Haunted Creeper? Because you haven't seen Consecration, and if you had it, you would have expected it to be played a lot earlier. So popping the Haunted Creeper just to get those extra knives might be a play.
Okay, in fact, it is the play.
Yeah, now you're forcing him to have Consecration or Wild Pyro. You saw him throw Wild Pyromancer earlier, and you dealt with it pretty well.
Oh, 2 Leon Hands.
Okay, so that is going to buy him the time he needs to maybe find that Consecration. But he does need to find that Consecration.
Oh, there it is.
He does. So do you equality to kill the Juggler? Here comes the question. Oh. Before he drops like another minion, he gets a free knife.
I guess
do you
not.
even whack away at these hounds? It's useless, right?
Yeah,
What's
you're gonna take 1 damage from them anyway.
Yeah. Oh,
Eagle
Harrison
Horn Bow.
Jones. That belongs in a museum, but not at the same time as Consecration, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Hey, that is
that's,
bringing him down very, very low again. Actually, I think that sets up lethal despite the Consecration at this point. He cannot consecrate and heal up.
Wow.
Yeah,
is
I
quite
think that might
unfortunate.
just... So do you have to lay on hands yourself, equality, and then trade your 1/1 into the Knife Juggler? And then hope for another heal bot if you've got one, or taunt minion. I don't know if he's running any more healing.
If you do that, you're still dead.
Yeah, there's no winning this, is there?
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All right, well that is lethal here for Kolento, who I mean, I guess that's what you call top decking. I don't know,
Yes.
that unleashed the hounds into the Eagle Horn.